Okay, here we go. Dead simple. Little lamp. Looks like the Tracers always have, but this time it's got LEDs in it. There's your 3 LEDs. On the back we've got high, low. I like that. Simple. Can't get that wrong. We've got a global power switch on off, which is obviously remote. That's hardwired. You're stuck with that. And then a very small little battery pack. Those are only 34 quid to buy if you need another one. And that will go anywhere. There's your little join. Velcro comes with. Smart box comes with. Clamps come with. 30mm, 25. What you can do with this is clever what they've done here. This is the same system that it always used to be. And it uses this slide through Deba mount that we're all used to. And you can put that on a 25 or a 30mm scope. That's fine. But it will also accept a Weaver or Picatinny scope mount upside down on your scope. You can take either option, and I like the versatility of that. I really think they've thought that well. They thought that through. So, yeah, clamps on nicely, nice and secure. Whether you choose a scope mount, which is provided, or whether you use the old-fashioned plastic mount, all the accessories, the Velcro, everything's all supplied. Gives a cracking little beam. It's very light and good value. I really do like it. And you've got your high and low. Low is a very good low. Sometimes they're so low that they're useless. Sometimes they're barely any dimmer than the full beam. The low on this is good, a sort of a ratting type of light, not too dauntingly bright at 30 and 40 yards. And then the full beam is, you know, you could use it for, I would suggest rimfire use at night, FAC air. Really good, really light, really versatile kit. I've got a lot of time for this. I think in many ways I prefer it to its big brother, the 12 volt version, because that's £180, this being 120. And it's only a little bit brighter. The advantage that this system has got, which apparently is supposed to be 1600 lumens, and it is a bit brighter. It's comparable to the Clulite, the Mini Lazer in brightness. Not quite as bright to my eyes and in the beam test, but that's sort of neck of the woods. With the 180 quid version, you get a very nice 4 amp hour, super compact lithium polymer pack from Tracer. That is worth money on its own. You get the same head unit as, well, a similar looking head unit to the basic Tristar. Looks the same, but it is amped up. You get your coiled connector, but you've got your dimmer. Now that's the USP, the unique selling point for this. Over the competition that we've seen is that this is the brightest that option in the Tristar. It's the 1600 lumen one. It's got a good sort of couple of 100-yard beam, and it takes the very snazzy lithium polymer pack from Deben, which people have lots of. I've got an 8 and a 10, and the 4's a lovely compact size. And you've got the tried and tested wheel rheostat, which I love because you've got your hand on the side of the stock. You've got your global on-off, and then you've got your dimmer. One thing I would say is that it whistles. It really whistles, this rheostat. And if I can hear it, I would have thought that it was not necessarily a good pitch for keeping things at bay. I don't know whether rats can hear it. It doesn't seem to have been a problem. Rabbits, foxes, whatever. But I mean, it makes an audible whistle. So just bear that in mind. But yeah, good kit this. I'm not really going to say one of these lamps is better than the other. It's a matter of making informed choices as to what their strengths are. And I think the strengths in the Clulite is the quality of the build, the quality of the customer service. I've had some dealings with them before, and they've just been really very, very helpful. I broke a clamp once. I'm pretty sure it was entirely my fault. I broke one of these off. Now, I was doing it up really tight on a shotgun, and then the recoil was going click clack each time, and I used it about 1 billion times, and then it broke. And I spoke to them, and without any questions, they didn't accept responsibility, and I can kind of see why, because I think it was probably almost entirely my fault for trying to over-talk it and make it do something it shouldn't be doing. But they made me one of these in metal and sent it to me, no questions asked. Now that's pretty impressive. So I think that really is one of their strengths. So you've got that, but then you've got this excellent clamp design they use. I've got a lot of time for the clamp. The clamp is what will stress you out in the field. So that really wins brownie points for me. For the Debens, the cheap one, the normal Tristar, has got the advantage of this tiny little battery pack, which is just grand. And just the simple elegance of it, just doing a job. And then in the big one, you've got LEDs and all the inherent advantages of them: low heat, low battery consumption. But you've got it fully dimmable, right from minimum to max. So that's a very well thought out system for 180 quid. And it must be said that their presentation cases are fantastic. You know, they're proper smart cases to keep everything in. Everything's all categorized in there. You've got your chargers, your extensions, your clamps. Everything comes with really nicely thought out, good quality. And Clulite, who I think make a superlative product and care about the quality of their kit, you get a cardboard box. So fair play to Deben. Bit old-fashioned from Clulite. I don't think it's indicated in the quality of their products. I think it's a contradiction in many ways. But there's no doubt about it. The Deben system is something that you want to pick up and buy, because it just looks so sexily packaged. So well done to Deben. There's your universal Clulite clamp. And this is their Mini Lazer, which competes with the Deben Tristar, which I'll show you in a minute. So there's your clamp. Goes into your female on the bottom of the lamp. Does up. Really quick and easy to change and remove. You can leave the clamp on the gun and pop that off. So there's the lamp. £115 before that. Only got the one LED, but obviously it's got the larger reflector. You've got your removable remote switch, and if you don't have it on, you can just on and off there. Very nice, tough metal screws, metal fittings. It just smacks of quality. It really is very nice, this. And as I say, do what you want with a clamp. You can't beat them. I like this little unit. It's got a little extension piece here, all waterproof. Well, fairly waterproof. And then you go to a bespoke battery pack that is very small. Now that has got a rapid intelligent charger and will charge in 5 hours. And it will give you about 4 hours, 3.5, 4 hours of burn. So that's pretty small, that. I mean, that fits in your palm. Straps will come with it. I think this is a excellent do-it-all lamping rig from, you know, Remy ranges to Foxing ranges. I like this kit very much. I just like the brightness of it. I like the compact battery. I like the high quality cabling. I love the clamp. I wouldn't change much on it, apart from the fact that it would be great to have an infinitely variable dimmer. You know, that can be a bit of a deal breaker. Now, in their 12 volt stuff, you can say to Clulite, I want you to put a dimmer in, I want this length of cable, I want it twisted, or I want it straight, and they'll just make it all up for you at very little expense extra. They're very good like that. I don't happen to know whether you can put a dimmer in this system because it's not 12 volts. That's a question that is worth asking. But even without that, it's a lamp that really does the job well. with an excellent clamp. So I'll put that on the gun, you can have a look at it, and we'll compare that to the Deben equivalent. So yeah, slightly different fortes. Just as a size comparison, guys, this is the Mini Lazer, and this is the Tristar. The Tristar is longer, quite a bit longer, and about the same sort of size. It's actually, this is conical. Oops. So you can see that it's a little bit bigger, but essentially they're similar sized pieces of kit. The square edge on this makes it look bigger than it is, but they're quite similar. Okay, so these are nice compact units. I am not a fan of strapping an enormous great torch to, by that I mean search lamp, onto the top of a scope. Not least because I fear what it does to the recoil cycle and accuracy, but I always bash it every time I get out of the car. Then I have to adjust the clamp. All this needs to be borne in mind at night, because any of these factors can cost you that shot. Yeah, that's good and bright, that. Nice and tight, dimmable. Like that, very versatile. Yeah, 150, 200. It's probably the easiest one of the LEDs, easiest one I've seen to see that 200-yard fence line down there, tree line, no problem. Yeah, that's good. Okay, see how it's fairly tight? I'll do a side-by-side comparison now to the Clulite version, which is called the Mini Lazer. Okay, this is the Mini Lazer. This is brighter than the 1600 lumen Deben Tristar Pro. It is brighter. Yeah, I can see the 200-yard trees all day long. Yeah, impressive. Okay, now I'll do the side by side. If I can find enough hands free. Okay, you can see the Clulite's a bit bigger, a little bit brighter, but it's close. It is fairly close. Well, actually, looking at it now, not looking through the camera, the Clulite's brighter. Yeah, it is. Okay, so 150, but the beam size pretty much identical, and the peripheral light pretty much identical. It really is. These are very, very similar beams, almost identical. But the Clulite is a little bit brighter, but both of them can see 200 yards here, no problem. And the beam, I think, is well balanced between spot and flood. It's very versatile. And of course, it's not adjustable. Okay, here I've got the normal Tristar on the left, dim, high. The Tristar Pro is a bit brighter, but not a lot. And given how small the pack is on the normal Tristar, very, very small thing, I'm rather taken by this little one. So, 75 yards, no problem. 150, yep. And I can just make out the 200-yard line down there. The horizon, as you can see it there, is 100. No problems there. You see a hedgehog out there. No problem. So I'd say this is about a 175-yard beam compared to this one. Similar size, well, identical size. The Tristar Pro just gives you a little extra nudge. The question is it worth the bulk? Although I do like the dimmer, which the Pro comes with. So the LEDs from Clulite, which is the Mini Lazer, and the two Tristars from Deben, very similar bulb beam patterns. Definitely not a pencil beam, definitely not a flood, a nice sort of centre weighted spot with a little bit of peripheral light. The Clulite's the brightest, And it's not doing that from 12 volts, it's doing it from its little pack. But it is more expensive. Okay, now for the incandescent bulbs. Okay, advantages of this from Clulite. Very nice construction, good clamp. This battery pack is awesome. It's slightly brighter than the Tristar Pro. I prefer it on balance, apart from no dimmer. And that, for some people, can be a real deal breaker. The Tristar has got a dimmer. It uses a more normal pack in that it's bundled with the magnificently useful 12 volts, sort of non-specific as it were, pack. And that's 85 quid on its own, and I use that all the time. It's so useful, so compact, good amount of oomph. You've got your fuel gauge. You know, that's sort of half the cost of the Tristar Pro kit, and really does make it very handy. Not a lot to go wrong. Range of clamps, normal, 12 volt power. You can get that in however you want, but the excellent pack is supplied, and the dimmer. That really is a hell of a package. You've got a good lamp, good brightness, fully dimmable, range of dB accessories, and it comes with the 4 amp hour lithium pack, which is incredibly handy for other uses. I use mine for my night vision. It's worth noting that the power in for charging here will run your screen and your NV. Even though that's the charging socket, you get power out of it. So a really good investment, the Tristar Pro. But I love the normal Tristar. So simple, so small. Look at the size of that pack. It is brilliant. Waterproof connectors. Good brightness. It isn't as bright as the other one, but it makes no odds. Rimfire ranges. 2 settings, high and low. Dead simple. Dead simple. A thoroughly squared away piece of kit, that. And good value. I personally would spend them more on the Pro because the dimmer's handy and the 4 amp hour lithium pack is very handy. Both excellent products, thoroughly recommended.